Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is going to be about what about you entices the male gaze. So what is it about your looks, your personality, your vibe that kind of attracts male attention? But not only attracts it, but entices it, tantalizes it. How do you kind of seduce them a little bit? So we're gonna get into, but not trying to. You know, there's some people who actively are trying to seduce a guy, then there's people who just do it without knowing that they're doing it. We're going to get into the how do you do it without knowing that you're doing it, the natural way that you seduce and entice men out here, okay? It doesn't have to be specifically about a man if you do not feel attracted to men. It could be about the people you are attracted to, but since most of my body of subscribers are women, I try to do that more than anything else because that's what they want to know about, okay? So let's get into it. We're going to get into this reading. I feel like I haven't done a reading in so long. I miss you guys. I don't know what has been happening these past few weeks. I feel like I can't get a grip. But we're back, baby. Let's get into it. For my group ones, please, Spirit. What about them entices the male gaze? What about them entices the male gaze? Because I do tend to forget things and go blank in my mind when I come up with something to describe looks or personality. I've written down a bunch of things that could, relate to this kind of reading. So I may just come up with new ones or use some of the ones that I've written down, but we'll see what comes through. Please Spirit for my group ones, What about them entices the male gaze? Please Spirit, looks, personality, vibes, all that. Okay, this one we have the Crown of Swords, which is the King of Swords. Okay. Can I get another card, please Spirit? How do my group ones entice the male gaze? So of course, immediately we're getting talkative, we're getting smart, we're getting well-versed, we're getting intelligent. Here we have Justice. And Justice and the King of Swords go quite well together. You're someone who believes in giving everyone a fair chance. You're willing to talk to everyone. You're willing to be nice to everyone, be cordial to everyone. There's no judgmental bone in your body is kind of what I'm getting. So I'm hearing you're friendly with most people. I'm not in an overtly flirty kind of way, but maybe because Libras are known to be the flirts of the zodiac, even though Justice is far from what Libra fully embodies. I would say Justice is more so. Why is this big bug always outside, guys? This big bug has been stalking someone's reading. I remember a few weeks ago, I was terrified to look out the window because I'm like, is that a hornet or something? And I've heard that they memorize faces. And if they see you and have beef with you, they're gonna find you and they don't forget your face. That could be something coming through with your reading. Men, don't forget your face. I do feel like when I tend to veer off topic, it does tie into the reading or comes back, full circle. So with hornets, don't forget faces. Men, don't forget your face. Or maybe you don't forget other people's faces. You could be a little bit of a computer, because swords is very much mental energy. It's very much books, intelligence, words, reading. And then Justice is more legal. No, why is that song coming through? My name is Pink and it's really glad to meet you. You're recommended to me by some people. Ooh, is this illegal? Ooh, it feels illegal. So there could be something about you that gives off illegal vibes, or they shouldn't be talking to you. For some of you, I'm getting a vibe of prim and proper, or stand-up citizen vibes, where people are kind of oh, she's too good, she wouldn't want to talk to me anyway, or I shouldn't be bothering her, flirting with her, she seems too wholesome and smart and intelligent and prim, to be someone who that's the kind of energy coming through. I don't know how to explain it, but we have another card that fell out, and I love how her face and her body is the first thing I'm seeing here in this look. Her eyes are giving direct, full-on stare, eye contact, right? You're not intimidated by anyone, but people are, intimidated by you instead. I do want one more card. My group ones, please, Spirit. What about them entices the male gaze? Your gaze, your look, the way you look at them. You can have very seductive stare. Here we have Nine of Swords. You get them thinking about you a lot. So you're kind of getting the vibe of you're hard to read. So it's kind of, they're always wondering or left grasping or wanting for more is the kind of energy. You don't give much away. And because of that, it's kind of like they want more of you. And now my nose is itchy. And I'll take that as confirmation. Here we have the Tower. So there is something a little intimidating and scary about you. And then we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so what about you entices the male gaze? Personality-wise, you're very frank, very straightforward, very much to the point. You don't beat around the bush. You're not scared. You are very intimidating. And that's something that entices them. It's kind of like she'll whip me into shape, or they'll whip me into shape. I have to be on my best behavior. And that's what enticing about you in particular. They feel like they have to be on their best behavior. They can't be flirting. They can't be acting out, you know, a toe out of line. None of that, right? And I feel like if they were to do something like that, something about you gives them, it's illegal to do something like that. If that makes sense. Because that song is coming through. But also in the song, she's like, you're recommended to me by some people. So there could be something about word of mouth. Your reputation precedes you. So when you meet a lot of men, they already have like a, what can I say? They already have they already have like their mind made up about you, or they already have heard some things about you. So it's like a reputation. And they're kind of like, oh, this person's like no nonsense. She's really mean, really direct, really to the point. I can't really mess around and play with her the way I could other women. I can't be playful and jokey because she doesn't like that. You know what I mean? They could be telling you a joke and your face is just like blank. And they're like, oh my gosh. Like they feel like out of their element, out of their depth a bit. And I feel like the Justice card with the King of Swords can be that very teacher, totalitarian, boss kind of energy, where it's kind of like a teacher. You can't call your teacher by their first name. You have to have that kind of respect, right? There's a gap between a student and a teacher. There's a gap between boss and employee. Okay, there's a gap between mother and child. Okay, there's a gap between principal and teacher, principal and student. Like something like that is coming through. You're giving the is it authority figure? There it is. Like, excuse me, help me fight for my life out here. Sheesh. You're giving authority figure. Stop playing. I'm serious. Like, we're getting to the nitty-gritty. We're here to work. We're here to learn. We're here to be serious. We're not here to play around and joke. And that is very sexy to men and very enticing about you, because it's like, you know how there's people who are like very prim. Like I said, I keep using the word. That's the best way for me to describe it. And it's like they want to see what's underneath all that prim and properness. They want to see if you can get dirty and get messy and, you know, that kind of thing. So you tempt them and tantalize them that kind of way, because they want to see what's beneath this prim exterior, right? This no holds barred, responsible, work comes first, responsibilities come first, very responsible person. They want to know what's beneath that. Okay, it's the vibe coming through here. The Tower is, there is something quite intense about you, which adds to the factor of them being a little intimidated and scared when it comes to you. But that also kind of turns them on in some kind of way, you know, where it's not easy to get. You're not easy to get. They have to work a little bit for it. Is the kind of energy coming through. Like I said, the song Illegal, it's kind of like, oh, this person is not in my league. I shouldn't be talking to them. I shouldn't be thinking of them in this kind of way, you know? So maybe some of you are giving like taboo, forbidden fruit kind of energy to some people. Maybe you're really younger than them, and it would literally be illegal for them to talk to you in any kind of, you know, grown folk way. Or like you have a no fraternization policy at your job, so it would be illegal for them to date you or want to date you or ask you out, right? Nothing beyond friendship. There are clear lines and boundaries when it comes to you and men. It's like, I'm not here to play with you. I'm not here to flirt with you, laugh and giggle with you. We're here to work. We're here to be serious, and that's it. We're moving on. None of that giggity giggity goo. Is that kind of vibe coming through, okay? So we have that with the King of Swords. So you are very clear, very straightforward about what you will deal with and what you won't tolerate. And that's very sexy. So you're giving like teacher, librarian, very serious, don't mess with her kind of energy, but they also still want to mess with you, if that makes sense. Okay, so you guys could be giving Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini vibes, heavy on the Libra because we have Libra coming through in Justice, okay? Justice is also, like I said, giving me someone who is a little bit, like I said, there's a gap between you and everyone else, it seems. You're someone who really believes in things that are for the greater good, taking care of things, you know. I'm getting someone who's good with computers or putting away information. It's kind of giving assistant vibes. So it's giving boss and assistant energy. And it's kind of like, don't mix business and pleasure. That could be something that's big for you. So when things are business, it's strictly business. You're not here to laugh and giggle and, you know what I mean, play games with anyone. You're here to do business and then leave and go home. And that's something that they think about, you know. You don't mix business with pleasure, but they wouldn't mind if you did, right? But then it would feel illegal to them because you're like a mom to them or you're a teacher to them, but it's still like tantalizing that way where it becomes taboo, where it's something you shouldn't want, but now you want it. And it's something that's you want even more now because you can't have it, you know? That's the kind of energy. That's how you seduce them. Okay, Three of Wands is you're someone who is very much like out there conquering life. You're not letting anything hold you back, letting anyone hold you back. You are overcoming. You're overachieving. You're exploring. Okay, I'm hearing foreign lands, right? It's kind of giving conquering kind of energy. You're that kind of person who just really just goes after what they want, doesn't let anything or anyone stop them. Like I said, if you're in a group, is it a scavenging group? No. Like, for example, you know those people who go on digging? They go digging for ancient relics and stuff like that. If you're on that, if you're on site, there's no fraternization. Like I said, we're not talking, we're not flirting, we're not giggling and, you know, playing around. We're here to do this. And it's excavation, I think it is. Like you're going on an excavation where you're trying to uncover some ancient ruins or fossils or whatever, you know. And it's kind of like, you're like, no, when it's time to work, we're working. And when it comes time to not work, I'm going to sleep. No, you can't come upstairs. No, you can't come into my tent. No, you can't come into my hotel room. No, you can't get drinks after this. No. So then it leads to them like, this person is like, I can't have them. So I want them even more. There could be something here about you having a raspy voice because that's coming through. I'm having a hard time like talking. Talking could be, it's hard to get you to speak to people. You could be someone who's very quiet, but like a very like sharp stare. I'm definitely getting that here with the Justice card here. And the way this guy is looking, like, look at how he looks. Why is he smirking like that? And then look, even in the Three of Wands, she has her back turned. She's walking away from them. So that could be something. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave, right? So they love to watch your posterior. Is that what it's called? A more clean, tidy version of your behind, your posterior, your back, you know. I'm hearing your sternum. Maybe you have like a really defined back, or maybe you have back tattoos, or maybe you wear a lot of things that show your back, but there's something here about you walking away from them and leaving them, moving on, going in more places, getting better. Elevating is the word that's coming through. So it's like you're above them in some kind of way, you know. And now She's So High by Tal Bachman is coming through. So it's kind of like giving out of my league. She would never go for me. She's made it quite clear she's not interested. But men like find that to be a challenge in some kind of way. Like you're challenging them. You walking away, you being very stern, you being very quiet, not talking too much besides what you need, what needs to be said and needs to be worked on, right? It's giving you're working in a group with someone in school and this person's trying to get you to hang out with them outside of the project. And you're kind of like, no, we're here for business. We're here for work. We're here for school. No fraternizing, no pleasure, no playfulness. Once this group project is over, we're going to go our separate ways. And I was like, oh man, right? You've now like, what is it called? Thrown the gauntlet, and they kind of want to challenge that now. Yeah, so you're an authority figure and they are the bad kids that want to challenge your authority, okay? Here we have Nine of Swords because they can't have something from you, they want it even more, is the energy coming through. Okay, you could dress really well, but all these swords energy and the magnifying glass and the scales and the balance, there's something very composed about your energy. Okay, your lips are coming through, your eyes are definitely coming through, your lips are coming through again. There's something about your face, period. Okay, I'm trying to remember what made that come through. I think it was this Justice card here, how her face is like the forefront. I'm also hearing accessories. You would have like a really quirky, goofy, funky kind of style to you, because we're seeing a lot of patterns. We see patterns in this card here, in her pants. Okay, on her pants. We see a pattern on her shirt. And then we see a pattern on his coat and on his pants. And this guy here is kind of giving doctor. It's also giving older, elder kind of energy. So it's giving MILF, DILF, you know, it's giving seasoned. And like I said, that ties into or plays into the whole taboo of this person is too old for me. This person is my boss. This person is my teacher, that kind of thing. Okay, so this Nine of Swords here is kind of giving me obsessing or stressing. And that's how you entice men, because they're always stressed on how to approach you or how to make you renege on the whole it's only business, right? I'm hearing a mullet. Some of you could have a mullet. I heard business in the front, party in the back. That could be something coming through. Mullets are making a comeback, and I've been seeing more and more people with them. So that could be coming through for you. Some of you could have long hair. Brown hair is the, you know, overall consensus in these cards. Darker hair, if you wanted to be a little bit more, you know, not inconspicuous, but if you wanted to be a bit more broad. And then we have white hair coming through. So if you're a guy watching or a woman watching, you would have like I said, you're giving silver fox or MILF energy. You're giving cougar vibes where they kind of want to climb you like a tree. And you're like, I could be your mom. And they're kind of like, I don't care, right? That kind of thing is coming through, okay? So the fact that you are untouchable or unapproachable or they shouldn't be flirting with you is the reason why they want to, okay? You've thrown the gauntlet and you're kind of like, nope, I don't want you. And they're kind of like, oh, we shall see about that, okay? Five of Swords is kind of, not Five of Swords, sorry. Six of Swords is giving me the same vibe as the Three of Wands. You're always moving forward. You're always learning, always growing, always progressing, right? And that's something they find quite attractive as well. And then here we have the Tower. So it is definitely giving this person could like destroy my whole life. And like, I'm willing to risk it still. Like, why not? Okay, so older, more mature vibes. So you're very mature, which is very sexy. We also have the owl, funnily enough, in the back of the Justice card here. So owls are important. Maybe you have really big, expressive eyes. You see everything. You're observant. That's one of the words that I wrote down. So far, based on the words that I wrote down, you guys are giving smart, well-dressed, quiet, astute, observant, frank, and hard to get, okay? You keep everything, I'm hearing copacetic. Everything has to be, if it's work, it's work. If it's play, it's play. You're not mixing those things. You don't like to do that, right? The Tower. For what about you entices the male gaze? I don't know. Yeah, there's something there could be something quite quirky and chaotic about your look. It's kind of giving me the crazy art teacher and how they like walk around. Most of them, or the ones that I remember growing up with, I have this one really like earthy, really chill, vibey art teacher, and she would just wear whatever she wanted to wear. She had the best fashion sense. Her hair was always like up. She would always use like different things in the room to put her hair up in a bun or hold it. She would use pencils, she would use pens, she would use paintbrushes. She had these big like funky glasses. Like she was definitely giving like bohemian vibes, okay? Like of the earth, natural, very beautiful. And she was an older woman, funnily enough. I forget what her name was. I don't want to say it was Miss Laboo, but I'm pretty sure it was. And it's funny because Laboobos have been a big thing now. They're very popular and they're hard to get now because they're more expensive than they were when they were probably just regular price. And not everybody wants a piece of them, but they're harder to get if you don't, unless you want to spend a lot of money, right? So you could be giving expensive vibes as well. Untouchable. But I'm pretty sure her name was Miss Laboo, and she was like my high school art teacher. She definitely gave those vibes as well. She was very quirky. She wore different things, right? She had, like I said, these glasses. I don't know if they were tortoiseshell glasses, but it's like little things that make her look quite unique and quite her. You know, you would walk down the block and think that person's an artist. They're very artistic with their look, their expression, their style. And that's the vibe coming through for you as well, okay? And now I'm hearing the song from Mamma Mia. I think it was 2, but it's When I Kissed the Teacher. Everybody screamed when I kissed the teacher, and they must have thought they dreamed when I kissed the teacher. My first day at school. Something I'd never seen a teacher blush. She looked like a fool. But when I kiss a teacher, you're giving those vibes, okay? That keeps coming through. But the Tower, I'm trying to get that vibe. Like I feel like it's giving me that like funky, you're like a world on you're set apart, you're a world of your own. And your own little world could also be a thing coming through as well. Okay. Eyebrows are important. I just don't want to say it because that's kind of like very like eyebrows. Here, and here is calling to me. The back of your head, the back of you is coming through heavily. Because once again, she's walking away from something. They're rolling away. And then the 3 of Wands, she's turned away from someone. So like I said, your back, your posterior, the back of your head. Brown hair coming through again to dark hair. The only white hair that's coming through is in this crone, King of Swords. And that could be for my people who are older. Or some of you like to dye your hair like platinum blonde or white. You know, that's coming through as well. But it's funny how the Tower card, we're getting all these different things. It's not usually what the Tower card is about, but she is giving artist vibes because she has like a palette, a paint palette here. Okay, so makeup could be a thing coming through as well. Your makeup is always well done. And the lady in the dresses card, her makeup is quite well done. It enhances her features. The red of her nails matches with the red of her lips. Right? She has these big statement piece earrings dangling from her ears. So does she. The ones here are like wheels. The ones on this lady here are hands, skeletal hands, right? You could also be someone who's known as like a jack of all trades. You do lots of different things because the Tower card is kind of giving you that. And that's usually more reserved for another card. It's not reserved for this card usually, but it's like 7 of Cups vibes, but in like a person where she has all these hands and she's doing all these things. So you could be someone who's very like, you know, successful, very creative, right? And look at how we have like the skeletal, like the back, not the back, but in the spine and the booty. Or what, I don't know what the bone for the butt is called. Okay. I know the gluteus maximus is the muscle, but the bone, is it tailbone? Fin bone? Whatever. Something like that is coming through because we have that coming through here in the back keeps coming up. So the booty is pronounced, or the back, the neck, something like that. The hair, some people may want to grab your hair in their hands and, you know, do things to you while they're grabbing your hair. You know what I mean? But you also giving mad scientist, you know, crazy, expressive art teacher. That kind of energy is coming through. You have your own like unique style and perspective. And that comes through quite heavily for why men find you attractive. Your lips are coming through. Like I said, once again, you guys could wear red lips. That could be a signature or staple for you. But your lips are definitely coming through. Your eyes are coming through as well. Your stare in particular, not just your eyes. Okay, the way you look at people is very prominent in these cards. The way you play with patterns and colors is also coming through. Now let's get some cards from this deck and see what comes through. What is this? We have Containing Multitude. I love this card. I would definitely agree. You contain multitudes. That's something that's coming through. But it's also two different sides to you, two distinct sides, especially in this picture here. We have the blue side to him, then we have the color side to him. The blue could be, you know, taken as someone who's more somber, very quiet, doesn't talk much, right? You're just observing, watching everything. And then we have the more colorful side, which is more expressive. So you may have two sides to you that, you know, call to different parts of different men or people. For my group ones, please, Spirit, what about them entices the male gaze? Your hands, I'm getting as well. Here we have feel the feels. So that's coming through your thighs and your feet. But it's definitely mostly giving like fashion sense. I'm getting that very heavily hardcore for you guys. And even in this picture here, like, in this is like her eyes sticking out, standing out from the rest of her body. So your eyes can like glow, I feel like. But feel all the feels. They're like dancing in a field, cooking food, praising the heavens, having a good old time. And that's kind of what entices men about you. They feel all the feels around you, right? And that could be what this Tower card is. You work up a lot of emotions and turmoil in men. So they're kind of like, they don't know what to do, how to feel, how to get you to want them or reciprocate their feelings. Could be a thing coming through, especially if you come off as someone who is more like, we're just here to work and then we're going to go home and I'm never going to see you again. Please unhand me and leave me alone. Like, if you are that kind of person, they are stressing themselves like, I'm feeling all these things. How do I make it like official? How do I make them want to get to know me more? And it's kind of like, I'm not interested. But it stresses them out in some kind of way with the 9 of Swords. Okay. Some cards from this deck here and see what comes through for you guys. What about them entices the male gaze, my group ones? We have find your voice. So maybe you have no problem talking back to people. You're very outspoken. And it doesn't have to be in like a loud way. It's just a very much, I'm not going to tolerate this. You better treat me like this. Don't do that. You do this. Maybe bossy could be coming through. And they find that sexy as well. Here we have Wanderlust. That is that 3 of Wands and 6 of Swords. You're always going somewhere, always doing something, always on a different adventure. And they find that very like attractive and enticing. And then we have Pearl of Wisdom. And that is that owl that was coming through with the Justice card. The Justice, I like to call the sentinel of the heavens. Someone is up there watching and seeing what everyone does and documenting it. So when the time comes for them to get their get back, Justice would be the perfect card for that because they know exactly what to do to get back at someone. That could be something about you. You know just what to say to get to people. You know just what to say to make people feel good, bad, whatever, all right? Okay. It's also coming through with someone who's wise. So you could have seen some things. You've experienced some life, which is, like I said, tying into the whole older woman or man vibes. If you're not old, an older woman or man, you're giving that energy to people. Like grown, mature, good head on their shoulders. They know who they are. They're not afraid to express themselves or be seen, okay? They're not afraid to assert their dominance or their presence or their views or their standpoint, that kind of thing. They're not afraid to put someone in their place, right? Which is why your mouth is coming through, your eyes are coming through, the way you express yourself in color, clothing patterns are coming through, right? And the pearls of wisdom, the way you speak. And when you speak, people are drawn to your mouth, your eyes, you know, your demeanor, how you're expressing those things. Okay. And also in the King of Swords, I'm now noticing that we have 2 birds. And the birds are like talking because we can see like, how can I get you to see that? You see how there's like little words or sounds coming out of the birds? So singing could be something as well. But like I said, it's once again tying into like your lips, your mouth kind of thing. So that definitely entices these men out here. Your smiles, what I just heard as well. When you do crack a smile. You may not be someone who's always smiling and, you know, laughing with everyone, but when you do, it's quite a sight to behold, is what I just heard. Some of you can be very active and athletic as well. That wanderlust and the Three of Wands could be someone who's active and like works out. You could dance, swim, walk, run, or you just love to travel in general, and that's also very attractive. People who travel a lot have like a very heightened view of the world that other people may not have, or not even heightened, but it's like called worldly. You know a lot of things because you've been a lot of places and met a lot of people, as opposed to someone who's never left their hometown. There's not much you can learn about people if you just stay with the people you've grown up with your whole life. Someone who's willing to open up themselves and explore is definitely someone that people can find very attractive. Okay? But I'll leave your reading right here. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. You could also be known as someone who reads a lot. That's very attractive. That's smart intelligence coming through once again. Wisdom, wise. You know a lot of things, okay? But if it did resonate, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is going to be about what about you entices the male gaze. What about how you look, how you act, how you move in the world seduces men naturally without you having to try, okay? Let's get straight into it. I'm so happy to be reading for you guys again. I feel like I haven't read in a long time. I know last week I only uploaded like one video, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Last week was just a new schedule at work, and then a lot of things were going on. And one of the days that I work now, I have both my jobs, so I can't like stay after work to do readings. I have to go to the next job and then go home, and it's like just a lot was going on last week. But I'm glad I at least got one reading out. So this week will be better, I promise. I'll get at least 2 out to you guys. And let's see what comes. So let's get into your reading. I missed you guys. What about my group 2s entices the male gaze? I wrote down some characteristics that I could use in the reading in case my mind goes blank and I can't come up with anything. There are certain cards that, you know, mean certain things definitively. So based on the cards that I got and the words on the side, I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, you're this, and that. You know what I mean? But let's see what comes through for my group 2s. Please spirit my group 2s. What about them entices the male gaze? I'm hearing your voice cuts through the noise. That could be something coming through, because I was thinking about how yesterday I cut my finger pretty bad on a candle that I was trying to move. Like the candle I was using broke. You know those long 7-day candles? It had cracked when I was burning them for, I think, Friday or something. And I just kept burning the rest of it and kept burning it until it was gone. And then I guess the wax was falling out of the candle at the same time. And once the wax dried, it was hard to move it. So I was just sitting there being reckless, not knowing or thinking or trying to be soft and gentle with the candle, because it's also still glass. It's broken glass. It's jagged at this point. I was just moving it all recklessly, and I cut my finger bad. Like, it was a deep cut. And I was just like, why did you do that? That was so irresponsible of you. And that was just yesterday. Thankfully, it's not hurting or anything, but I'm just trying to watch out for it and make sure it doesn't get infected or anything, you know? But I was thinking about how the candle cut through my poor finger. Right, this one right there. And I heard your voice cut through the noise. So your voice is something that entices the male gaze, okay? The fact that it's loud, the fact that it can be heard over everyone else, the fact that it can be seductive, whatever about it. Can I get some cards, please, Spirit? What about my group 2s entice the male gaze? Okay, we have 2 cards. We have the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Interesting. You could be a little bit of a fighter. You can be a bit feisty, okay? You're very also passionate. The Seven of Wands is an energy of defending yourself, standing up for yourself, asserting your boundaries, right? You're not someone to be taken advantage of or, bleeped over. The Nine of Wands is someone who doesn't give up too easily. If something happens and it doesn't go their way the first time, they're going to keep trying until they get it right. That is the kind of energy coming through. So that is immediately off the bat what entices men about you. Also, I'm hearing ambitious. I'm hearing honest, forthcoming. My group 2s, please, Spirit. What about them entices the male gaze? There's something about the shape of your body. You could be very lithe or curvy, either or. Take what resonates for you, okay? There's something about the way you accentuate the curves that you do have if you don't have much, or if you have a lot. About the way you accentuate curves. You work with the lines on your body. That could be something you work with, where it's like, I don't have much curves, but I'll make do what I do have, or I have mad curves and I'm going to go out of my way to show them, period. Why would I not? I'm a baddie. The way you believe in yourself, there's something here about like a lot of like self-confidence that men find very attractive. It's kind of like, I'm the star. I know this. Well, look at me, praise me, compliment me. Yeah, I love that. You know your worth. And then what card is this? We have the Queen of Cups. I'm hearing you're very feminine for those of you who resonate as being feminine. If not, it's still giving very feminine, very trustworthy, very soft, very like pretty, I guess you can call it. Whether you're a boy or you're a girl, or you're a mask, or you're a femme, or you're a man or a woman, or, you just resonate as a person, there's something very soft and pretty about you. I remember this morning I was like listening to Spotify while getting ready for work, because that's how I start my day's music to wake me up, right? I was listening to Lightning and Thunder by 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐿𝐿 featuring John Legend. And I was, of course, when you're playing the song on Spotify, on the TV, they're showing you the person, the artist. And I was just looking at 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐿𝐿 and I'm like, she's just so like cute and pretty and beautiful. And I'm like, I remember like when she first came out, I was like, what? How could someone be so pretty? Like the epitome of female beauty. She's like, has delicate features. Nothing is like too big. Her nose isn't too big. Her like forehead isn't big. Her bone structure is delicate. She's giving very feminine beauty. And also there are men who give that as well. I'm hearing like fairy-esque kind of beauty where you just look well, I don't know, I don't want to say well put together, because it's not something you can control. You don't control how you turn out. You don't control how your body looks, your face, the structure and stuff like that. That's genetics. So it's kind of giving like your beauty like packs a punch is what I'm hearing. You look at 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐿𝐿 and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous. You look at Kali Uchis and she's like so freaking gorgeous. You look at Queen, is it Niger or something? And she's like really pretty. And they give like those really like gorgeous feminine goddess vibes. And that's the energy coming through for you guys, You would not look at that person and think, oh, masculine, but the energy can be quite masculine on them. You know what I mean? The energy on you is like very like pronounced, right? So I'm hearing how in the song she's like, I've been awake doing rituals. And I'm like, rituals? Okay, we all know that what's her name? 𝐓𝐈𝐿𝐿𝐿 is quite spiritual, and she's a spiritual person. And I'm like, rituals, what kind of rituals you doing, sis, right? Are they the good rituals, the bad rituals, the positive ones, the negative ones? It's kind of like you don't really know. So there's like an air of like intrigue and mystery to you as well. But it's also, with all these heavy wands coming through, is kind of like your energy is like, I don't know, hard to decipher or read, I guess we can say. But it's full on, it's passionate. But it's like questionable sometimes. You don't really know if it's a good passion or like a too much kind of passion, if that makes sense. Kind of like how people who are spiritual, you're either looking at them side eye or like, what kind of spiritual are you? Are you the good kind, the dark magic kind, this kind? As soon as someone hears, oh, you're spiritual, it's kind of like, oh, which one? It's kind of like a little intimidating, I guess you could say. In a way where the unknown is intimidating to you. So there's something about you that gives like unknown that gives also intimidating, right? Queen of Cups is also a spiritual person. She is also very intuitive, right? So when someone is around, they kind of, or when someone is around you, yeah, I said it right. When someone is around you, you kind of invoke emotions in them. It's kind of like you control their emotions. I'm hearing succubus, I'm hearing siren kind of energies. Like when you're around, the vibe changes to a room, whether you change it purposely or not, you know? And that's also taking me to, what is that empath? Is it yoga empath? Where their moves like changes the mood of people around them. That's the kind of energy you're coming through as. And it could be something you're well aware of and you purposely use to your advantage, or you don't know, you're not aware you're doing it, and that's just as scary, right? Which is that energy that was coming through about you like being a little bit mysterious, you're spiritual, but people don't know if you're like actively using your spirituality to take control of them. You know how people are just scared of the unknown. You're kind of giving a little bit of unknown, and that is what entices people. I'm also trying to remember, I'm pretty sure 𝐤𝐈𝐿𝐴 𝐈𝐿𝐿𝐴 has also been like actively like putting some kind of glamour over Big Sean if they're still together, because the man has cheated on her many a times, but she still refuses to leave. I don't know what it is about their connection or them together, but the things she like says in her songs and everything is kind of like very much giving casting spells and rituals, like she said in that one song, right? So right, that's the kind of energy coming through. It's like your beauty can be compared to lightning and thunder, a natural occurrence, something that no one can control. Okay, let's see what else is coming through for my group 2s, please, Spirit. My group 2s, what about them entices the male gaze? I would say you guys are coming through as outgoing, but the Queen of Cups is also known to be shy and reserved and soft-spoken and sweet and very caring. She like yearns to take care of everyone. If there's a child that needs taken care of, she's jumping in to do it. If there's something that needs doing, you need to be taken care of. You have a boo-boo, you need food, she's jumping to make sure you have the things you need. That kind of thing. So you're very like doting on certain people, and that's also very attractive. You want to make sure everyone is comfortable and safe, and that's attractive to the males or men that are around you, which is why I'm saying you're giving like very distinct feminine energy. Feminine energy is to take care of, to nurture, to protect, right? Can I get one more card, please, Spirit? One more card. I'm getting a bunch of different hair colors for you guys, but I'm getting like wild mane. Thank you. I'm like, tame. Y'all not giving tame, child. People may want to tame you, and that's why what men find attractive about you or how you entice them. You're kind of like a wild child, carefree. You're running, you're frolicking, you're playing, you're screaming at the top of your lungs. You're doing whatever you want to do, right? And men are like, I want to tame that, you know? So you're giving a little bit like a wild lion, a wild beast, you know? Some of you could be like very solitary creatures as well. So I'm thinking of how lions are known to be solitary creatures, whereas not lions. Did I say tigers? I meant to say tigers. Sorry if I didn't. Tigers are known for being solitary creatures, and lions are more so pride, pact oriented, while tigers are more so, nah, it's just me, bro. I'm by myself, hunt by myself, live by myself, sleep by myself, you know, that kind of thing. So you could be seen as like a solitary, mysterious, lonely, siren, succubus person that men just want to know more about. And you're like, man, you could be protective. Boundaries are very strong here for you. You know what I mean? But it's also an air of like not wanting to give up or throwing the towel too soon, right? So like loyal. Okay, let's keep going. But I meant to say something here like wild about your hair. So it could be always out, very curly, very like thick, right? I'm hearing ringlets, right? I'm hearing coils, stuff like that. I'm hearing moisturized. So that could be coming through as well. And then it's funny because in the song Lightning and Thunder as well, she says, what kind of spell do you have me under? I might just look up the song if I can. Okay, so I looked up the song Lightning and Thunder, and she's like, been up since 6 doing rituals, burning incense just to wish you well. Throw all my sins into wishing wells, smelling your scent, I do miss you still. What kind of spell do you have me under? What in the hell? I'm starting to wonder. I am not well, I am going under. I can't help myself, lightning and thunder. That's what I was talking about, the uncontrollable natural forces that you can't contain or control, right? Under your spell kind of energy is coming through. But like I said, that inherently or distinctly spiritual air to you. Doing rituals, burning incense, wishing you well, throwing away all your sins, healing, that kind of energy. You could be someone who like carries a lot of burdens or carries a lot of other people's burdens. And that's something that entices men as well, because it's like, what can't you do? Like a little bit of wonder coming through there. And I'm hearing the song Wonder by Shawn Mendes. And I believe Justin Bieber. But, and then it says, oh, what if the feeling's reciprocal? She misses me like I miss her soul. You know, this is giving like neo soul, bohemian, natural, earthy. Is it Hotep? You know what I mean? Kind of energy. Free. What do they call the locks that you grow freely? Is it free grow, free something? Like I said, your hair is just wild and free. You don't really tame it. It's just all over the place, whether it's in locks, curls, springs, spirals, none of the above, you know, all of the above, that kind of energy. Yeah, I don't know, you're just giving like, I don't know, like mystical energy to me. Like I said, you're giving succubus, like fairy kind of energy, very delicate, petite features that all come together to make something very beautiful, you know? Okay, maybe very glowy skin. Okay. You could have RBF, but you still look cute, even though you have RBF. Like your face is just cute, pretty, that kind of thing. Okay. And in the picture, I'm also seeing like braids, of course. Like I said, things are like you don't really have to maintain that much. You're not overdoing it and doing too much with your hair. It's either free and out and you're letting it grow and flow in the wind, or you're putting it in braids and leaving it alone, letting it grow, right? But in the album cover for the song Lightning and Thunder, she has her hair wrapped up in like a head wrap or scarf. That's kind of coming through. I'm also hearing Lauryn Hill, but there's also someone else. What is her name? India Ari is coming through as well, right? And there's a song by her that I love that I can't really think of right now. Is it I Am Me? I Am Free? I Am Light. I Am Light, I Am Light by India Ari is coming through. You guys are giving me those kind of like in the wind, in the breeze, tinkling fairy kind of energy. That's what entices men. It's kind of like, are you real? You know what I mean? You're someone who comes to a spiritual, but it's also a force to be reckoned with. You're powerful, you're beautiful, but also innocent and free and loving and kind. You guys are so sweet. You guys have a seductive stare. You guys have very like petite features, like small heads. Delicate chins, small button noses, right? Your features are giving like, what is that? Like, okay, so basically there's like a thing when it comes to like physical looks where it's like your dramatic features in like big features or small features. And I was just watching a video on TikTok. I can't remember what it's about, but it's kind of giving small eyes, small nose, really petite mouth. And it's like, you know, there are other people who have big lips, big nose, dramatic, like, eyebrows. And it's like dramatic versus not dramatic, I guess you could say. You guys are giving not dramatic, but it's like it comes together in like a very beautiful way. It's not taking away from your beauty, but it's kind of like everything is just little. Some of you could be smart. Not smart. I mean, smart, yeah. Small, fun size, petite. That kind of energy is coming through for you. Yeah, I'm hearing blush, naturally blushing cheeks, right? Purples, you look good in purples. Reds, wine colors. Okay, let me get one more card because I'm getting distracted now. And that could be something as well to get distracted by you. Oh, and we have 9 of Cups coming through here, as well as the Page of Cups. I don't want too many cards though. We have the Hierophant, so that spiritual air coming through once again. We have 10 of Swords, so you find peace and comfort in the quiet, while other people like rage against the quiet. They don't like to be quiet. They want to talk and they like to fill the noise. You don't really care to fill the noise. This Queen of Cups is like a very like, I don't know, your energy is like very peaceful and serene, right? You have nice thighs though. Look at her thighs, nice and thick. Yeah. Okay. And that's what I was saying. Some of you are giving like very petite, very how can I say it? Slim. And then others of you are giving like thick. So it's gonna be either or for y'all, child, okay? But your thighs are definitely coming through. You could have like nice, really defined arms. What is that noise, child? We have 9 of Cups here. We see the boobs coming through. The swell of them could be, you know, very attractive as well. But there's something here about like very, I don't know, pointed, poignant features. Delicate, right? And I do believe that's a song by Taylor Swift, and that kind of energy is coming through. Some of you could have bangs, but I am getting like wavy hair at the very least. But thick, wavy, curly, coily is very prominent coming through here. Move this over so you can see it more. And it's funny how we started off the reading with 9 of Wands and we're ending it with 9 of Cups. The 9s are the adversity cards in the deck. So there's something here about you doing well in adversity. You able to keep your boundaries firm. You know what I mean? I'm hearing Rage Against the Machine. Some of y'all are definitely giving like emo, like not even like emo. I'm not giving really that big of a vibe, but it's definitely giving like a force to be reckoned with energy in like a really small body, right? Like fun size. How they say girls who are petite are like really mean and like vicious, you know? Oh, I can't. Okay. But blushing rosy cheeks is coming through. Your lips are very prominent as well. The color of them is what I'm getting mostly. The shape of them as well, but the color of them is coming through heavily. So I don't know if some of you have 2-tone lips or maybe 1-tone lips or just darker lips or just naturally pink or purpley lips. That's coming through for you guys. Thighs and legs are coming through as well. Some of you could have like collarbones that stick out, that are prominent. Some of you could look really sweet or smell sweet is what I'm getting as well. Because we have these like fruits coming through in this card for her. There's like etherealness to your presence. Some of you have very nice eyebrows. Some of you could have like smaller eyes, like, you know, siren eyes or almond shaped eyes, but they're like shadowed or below thick eyebrows or arched eyebrows. You have like a very pleasant demeanor is what I'm getting. You feel like people, I'm hearing why did I go see Hamilton in theaters this weekend? And I'm thinking of how when Burr was running for president and they were like, he seems like so approachable, like you can grab a beer with him, as opposed to Jefferson's elitism. People are like, he's in love with France, he's so elitist. And they were talking about Burn saying he seems like he's so down to earth, like you could grab a beer with him, you know. That's the kind of energy coming through for you guys. I can grab a beer with her, hang out with her, that kind of thing. She's really fun, a good time kind of energy, very sexy, very feminine, very beautiful, right? A delicate flower, really soft glowy skin, clear skin, right? It's just natural beauty. We're gonna leave it at that. I don't want to overdo it. Okay, let's see what else is coming through for you guys. For my group 2s, please, Spirit, my group 2s. What about them entices men? There's a seductive stare you give as well. Like, I don't know if it's because your eyes go like half mask and it's very seductive, but it's a look on your entire face that like gets people going. It's the way that you focus so intently on things. Like, tell me you're not seeing a theme in these cards. We have this lady here, first and foremost, eyes half mask. This lady here, eyes half mask, bombastic side eye, right? So even though you look innocent, like I said, there's an energy about you that's like, don't mess with me, don't play around, I'm not playing with you. Here we have her looking like very like dreamily at the cup. And then here we have her looking very seductively at the guy. Tell me these women aren't all giving the same look to them. Like, stop playing. It's definitely giving that. So yeah, for you guys, very dreamy, ethereal, too good to be true, are you even real kind of quality to you that kind of make men wonder. You know, because the Nine of Cups is very much the wish come true card, the wish fulfillment. So it's kind of like for the men that you entice, it's like you embody everything they could want in a partner: looks, physicality, vibes, personality, all those things combined to this beautiful package. And they're kind of like, are you even real right now? You know? So that's coming through for you guys. But also mentioning Jhené Aiko and Kali Uchis and Queen Naija. There are specific songs from them that I feel like embody your vibe really well. So of course we had Lightning and Thunder by Jhené Aiko. All those things are coming through, and this song is like very beautiful, very dreamy. And then of course R&B soul is kind of coming through because that's their genre. So neo soul, R&B soul, that kind of energy is coming through for you guys heavily. But Melting by Kali Uchis is coming through. And if you've ever heard the song, it kind of went viral on social media like a few years ago, if I am remembering correctly. And it's kind of like a very dreamy song. Kind of the same vibe as Lightning and Thunder. And basically the song starts off by saying, "You are my church, you are my place of worship. I heard you're the plug, can I be the circuit? When I got court, I hope that you're the verdict. When you're around, my insides turn inverted. My blood starts to rush when I see your doorman. I know you're nearby and I know your purpose. Take one look at you, you're heaven's incarnate. What is this spell, baby? Please show some mercy." Mercy, jeez. They could find themselves like lost for words, tongue-tied, that don't really know what to say, you know, stuttering. Melting like an ice cream when you smile. Melting your daydream, stay a while. And she's like, what's the other part of the song? You got some soft lips and some pearly nights. Pearly whites. I can't talk, guys. That's crazy. I want to touch them in the dead of night. Your smile ignites just like a candlelight. Then somehow I know everything's all right. So that's one of the dreamy songs coming through. So you're like a very soulful person as well. Like maybe you have like a lot of depth. You talk a lot about things that really move you, or your energy just moves people. Like I said, you have that mysterious air of, is she purposely putting a spell on me? And if she isn't, I still feel uncomfortable because, what was I saying earlier? Does she know she's doing it? Even if she doesn't, it's still scary because you're moving me so deeply, whether you're doing it on purpose or not. That's the best way to explain it, Lord. Yeah. They don't understand like how you can be so ethereal, how you can be so like soulful, how you can be so spiritual. And then the next song that was coming through was Dream by Queen Naija. And the song says, I would do anything for you, won't let your heart ache. Never let no one before you, don't let this fade away. And I will ride flatline skies if it means more you. No matter where we go, I got you. Hold on now. And if I'm dreaming, let me sleep. I don't want your love to leave. I don't want to fall too far. Just ride this high that you're giving me. No, I don't want to wake up. So even if it is a dream, let me stay in this dream world. Even if it is a spell, I'm fine here. Even if she knows that she's doing it or not, I'm gooch. Like, that's kind of energy coming through for you guys. So let's move on to the oracle cards. But I do think there is like this very seductive air to you, whether you know you're doing it or not, right? Because I'm being called to the moon and the stars in this card specifically. And I feel like even though we have these other cards on the outskirts, the Queen of Cups is embodying you. This is you. So we're getting Cancer, we're getting Pisces, and we're getting Scorpio energy, which are all like different versions of very spiritual, very highly intuitive signs, but they all show their, how can I describe it, spirituality in different ways. The Pisces, okay, is very dreamy, right? The Cancer is very deep feeling, and then we have the Scorpio, which is very private but deeply and fiercely loyal. So different aspects of you are coming through in the water signs that embody the Queen of Cups energy that you also embody as well. It's also kind of giving mermaid, right? I did say fairy, but mermaid is coming through as well. But mystical creatures was the vibe of your energy. So that's kind of coming through strongly, okay? So watery, like I said, very feminine. So it's giving curls, not curls. You know what I just saw? Oh my gosh, when I said that, I don't want to get in trouble. But you know how the patch between the legs, right? How the hair down there is like coarser and curlier, you know what I mean, than the hair that may be on your head for most women out there, you know? So when I saw curls, I saw the patch of curls between the thighs. So you could be like a very natural, earthy woman, and you let that free grow. Like, see, I was talking about free grow. I think that's what it's called. Like when you have locks, you just let it grow. You don't really, is it free form locks? And then we have free growing hair, wild, untamed, and then we have the curls between the thighs. For those of you, you know, who grow it out, that's coming through strongly as well. So for men who are with you in that kind of way, they see that and they just think of they're on their grown woman things. Okay. Okay, that's enough. But curves is what I meant to say. So you have the childbearing hips, you have the waist, you have the ample bosom, you could have the booty, but the curves is coming through the plumpness. Plump is the perfect word for it, okay? Like I said, some of you are very petite, others of you are very curvy. It's going to be either or in this reading, I'm pretty sure. That's the vibe that I'm feeling. The Cancer is coming through. Cancer rules the chest, right? Scorpio, yes! Scorpio rules the privacy, the private parts. And then we have Pisces, which rules the, I think, not the eyes, but it could be the eyes, but also like the feet. So some of you can have like very attractive feet. I'm seeing on people who always make sure their like nails are done, or it's cut, or pedicures, stuff like that. But yeah, okay, let's keep going. And I kind of want to look up. I'll be forgetting what Pisces rules. Yeah, the feet and the toes. So that's also coming to us very attractive. Okay, so I better be showing y'all feet and y'all toes if I want these men to come looking. Okay. Okay, it's giving that one scene from Love Island where Nick just licks and sucks up Alandria's toes. And it's kind of taking me to the whole what one man wouldn't do, others like wanting to worship about you, that kind of thing. Because I do believe in the beginning of the season, not to go on a tangent, but just a short little, you know, sidebar. In the beginning of the season, the guy that she was coupled up with for most of the show, Taylor, said it was important for him to have women who had good looking feet. And the first thing he did was look down at her feet and like judge it, saying, oh, your feet are all right. Your feet are okay. And then from there on, I feel like things kind of went downhill where he said it wasn't attracted to her. And I guess her feet weren't up to his standards, or, you know, because I'm like, it's crazy how he didn't find her attractive, but she's like just so like, she is so ethereal. She's unreal. Right, and she is also very petite, right, but also quite curvy. See that vibe. So if some of y'all have not watched Love Island, look up Alandria, from season 7, and you'll kind of see what's coming through, like very delicate features, but then they're also exaggerated. She's also very petite, very feminine, right? And then Nick was sucking up on them toes. You know what one man didn't want to do for her, the right man who realized the goddess that she was sucking on them toes. He was like, oh, Taylor don't like that. I love it. Okay. Period. Okay. Now let's go with oracle cards. Don't mind me. Okay. What about you entices the male gaze? Please, Spirit, there is something here about your dreamy eyes or like a dreamy aesthetic. Some of you could be like, you know, coquette. Some of you could be cottagecore. Some of you could like be very bohemian, right? You know, that kind of energy. Neo soul, that kind of vibes. You wear the wraps around your head. You protect your energy, that kind of thing. And it's very apparent for when people look at you. You're wearing the crystals, you know what I mean? You're wearing the evil eye, right? I'm hearing henna. That could be something coming through as well. Like in all these cards, there's not much body being shown, but it's kind of like you could still see the body through the clothing. The only card where you're seeing any kind of body from her is in this Queen of Cups card. But everywhere else, she's like fully clothed, but still giving, you know, seducing or seductive, whatever. Why do we have 5 cards coming out from this deck? That's OD. I feel like. So we have treat yourself. So you like to eat, right? You're not going to be someone's like, oh no, I'll just have a salad. No, you're ordering all the food and eating all the food and enjoying yourself. Okay, you indulge yourself in food. You're not starving yourself to look a certain kind of way, right? And that's real woman things, right? Here we have stage of play. Stage of play. So you guys are giving very playful, and I love how I was talking about you guys are giving fairy vibes, and that's what I think of when I think of fairies. They're very playful creatures. They're very giggly. They're a little bit tricksters sometimes. In some like folklores, they're tricksters and they just want to have a good time. They misplace things and are just like very mischievous. So that could be your vibe as well. That part of your personality intrigues men. You could love corn because corn is coming through here as well. They could also be thinking about other things as well, you know, mouth to knob kind of situations. If you're grown, I'm pretty sure you can decipher what I'm saying without me having to be vulgar. Okay, we have mind your own. This is that spiritual side to you, mind your own business. Okay, they love that as well. And look, we have desire. I know I don't be bugging when these overtly like 18 plus vibes come through, and I'm kind of like, am I like pushing it? No, because a card always confirms it for me. It was temptation in another deck, I believe, but in this deck it's desire. So they do desire you, and it kind of look how her face is like shocked, and you could be someone's like very expressive, very emotive, and they like that as well. You know, they never have to question how you're feeling because you're very upfront about your emotions and how you feel. Being the Queen of Cups, she's not going to be one to hide her emotions or her woo-woo or her spirituality side to her, you know what I mean? Or her intuition. Or her loving, caring, nurturing side, okay? So desire is coming through here, and look at how it's kind of her tail is exaggerated. It's kind of like, hold on, that was not a right proper way to show it to you. So like a waist is here, then we have the tail coming out, and it's gonna be exaggerated like curves, okay? Or hips. And then here we have crying out. Interesting. When I first saw this card, I was looking at it at the side of my eye. It was giving Ursula, you know, the whole black and white vibe and aesthetic. And you know how she's very curvy as well in the movie, right? Even though she is supposed to be like half woman, half fish, it's very apparent that she's juicy, okay? That she's plump, like I was saying earlier, right? I'm sorry, I just love when these things, specific things come through. So I'm like, period men. Like, I love a guy who likes some plump vibes, you know, who can appreciate the feminine form, right? Okay. But crying out, there's a song, I believe, that was called Crying Out. And it was like Lil Wayne with like Mario. And it was like, I can hear your heart crying out for me. That's kind of what I'm getting from this card intuitively. But it could also just mean, you know, in the throes of passion, since that vibe wants to come through a lot. And crying out and desire came. Sorry, I have to. Why are you not cracking? Come on now. Sorry. This card and this card came out together. So desire and crying out. Okay, that could be something as well. They're very much imagining, you know, you in certain situations. I'll just leave it at that. But also this is definitely giving very loud, very expressive, like once again with your voice. Okay, like I said at the beginning of the reading, there's something here about hearing your voice over the noise. Okay, Now, what deck is this? This is one, so now we gotta pull from this other one. Okay, what about my group 2's entices the male gaze? Please, Spirit, what about my group 2's? Thank you, I didn't want too many. These are still a lot. Anyway, let's just get through them. We have bountiful harvests. Okay, bountiful harvest. So you are quite abundant as well. But bountiful harvest is kind of like, look at how this guy is examining this apple he's been growing for the longest time. It's kind of giving me the 9 of Cups, like getting what you want, right? So it's kind of like you are giving them exactly what they want. Okay, here we have move through loss. Interesting. This is basically just giving me the vibe of you being able to emote yourself, and you're not afraid or ashamed of showing emotion and or crying. Emotion doesn't have to be like, you know, one size fits all. You could be someone who's very passionate, someone who's very passionate in their anger, someone who's very passionate in their desires, someone who's very passionate in their sadness. That is what's coming through mostly here. How she's clinging to the ground, just like crying and letting it all out, right? You're able to show your emotions, and that's something they find very attractive. And that is also something that's very distinctly feminine for me, because emotions definitely give me woman, you know, feminine energy. Okay, here we have side by side. Interesting. There could be an energy of like, I'm hearing proximity, so when you're close to them, men like that, as well as just being in your overall, I'm hearing being your thrall. Very interesting. But like being in your presence is definitely something that's stimulating for men, that entices them, right? Because like I said, it's more than just your looks, it's your energy as well. Yeah, so there's that side by side comparison. That's something coming through. Maybe weirdly, dirtily enough, they could be comparing you to other people around you and finding you like to be the superior person. That could be coming through as well. I don't really like that because I don't like comparing people, but that could be what they do. Men do what men do. I can't. I'll never understand if I'm not going to be a man. I'm not a man. But yeah, and then here we have forgiveness. Yeah, so you're showing all of your emotions. You know, you show all of your emotions. You're not afraid to, right? If you're upset, you're going to show that. If you're sad, you're going to show it. That's something that entices them, right? It's definitely them getting the full package here, right? They're not getting someone who's just pretty. They're getting someone who's like well-rounded and all these things that come along with being like a woman as well, feeling very deeply, caring for others, you know? But this forgiveness card looks kind of ghetto, does it not? What is he doing? But we're just going to go with what the word says, forgiveness. Interesting. This guy is kind of creeping me out a little bit. Well, I might just leave it right here, guys. I hope the reading resonated, though. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. This treat yourself is also kind of giving me whatever you want something, you get it for yourself. You're not going to hold yourself back or say, no, I can't have one more corn on the cobs. I'm trying to, you know, watch my figure. It's like whatever you want, you got it. You treat yourself like the goddess you are. And it makes them in turn want to treat you like the goddess you are, if that makes sense, you know? Monkey see, monkey do kind of energy, right? They see you doing the same, all these things, they want to do it for you as well. Period. Because they see you as this bountiful harvest. They see you as good luck. They see you as someone they want to have around because you bless their life in a magnitude of ways. Oh boy, my finger acting up. I wish you would just leave me alone. But anyway, yeah. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose thumbnail image 3, we're going to be getting into what about you entices the male gaze, right? What about what you do naturally draws men in, seduces them, that kind of energy, okay? Now, while I was shuffling your cards, I heard stamina. So that could be something that entices them. You have a lot of stamina. You could be someone who's very athletic. You work your body a lot. You could be in the gym, just like working. I'm hearing grunting when you're like playing tennis or something like that. You know how I believe Serena was known for her like grunt when she would hit the ball. That's kind of coming through. There can be a specific grunt that you have when you're in the throes of passion or when you're playing a specific sport or something that could be coming through. But stamina basically means the ability to do something physically taxing over and over and over again without tiring too quickly. So that could be coming through as well. Okay. You look like you have a lot of stamina, and I feel like in order for you to look like you have a lot of stamina, you have to look like you're in shape. So you look like you're in shape, and that entices the male gaze, okay? So let's get right into the cards for my group 3s. I shuffled them already, so we just got to start getting the cards for you guys. What about my group 3s entices the male gaze? You look fit, is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing it in the sense of how British people mean, oh, that girl is so fit. It means she's pretty, like, you know what I mean? But also fit means your body is like, you know, fit. So let's see what comes through specifically for my group 3s, please, Spirit. Okay. We have the 8 of Swords and we have the 2 of Wands. You could be a little hard to read because these 2 cards aren't really giving me much. And I feel like 2 cards is more than enough for me to start getting messages. Here we have 2 of Cups and then we have 9 of Pentacles. Very interesting mix of cards. And your cards came out faster than any other group, okay? And then we have these 2 2s in the middle. Interesting. There's something here about you like bouncing off of people really well. You know, you vibe with people really well. Whether it's like conversation or looks or something, maybe you mirror people and that immediately like or naturally makes them like you more. Cause I believe, I don't know who even told me that, but I remember I used to be into like body language or like trying to figure out if a guy likes you and whatever. And one of the women that I used to follow on TikTok or something, I wonder where she is. She stopped making videos, funnily enough. But she was like this psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever. She's like, oh, the things that guys do when they're attracted to you. And of course, the basic ones are a guy, you can tell a guy's attracted to you if his eyebrows like go up, right? But another thing that she was saying is you start mirroring, like if a guy likes you and you like a guy, and you like a guy, you guys will start mirroring each other in body. So if he crosses his arms, you cross your arms. If he moves his leg, you move your leg. If he like starts leaning over something, you start leaning over something. And that's your body's way of becoming, you know, mimicking them so they like you better. You know, it's the kind of energy because they're going to be like, oh, I'm doing this and she does it. I don't know what it is, what specifically goes off in someone's mind when they start mimicking someone, that person likes it, but it's basically giving, oh, you're doing what I do, so I like you better. I don't know the science behind it, guys, but that's the kind of energy that I'm getting. You mirror people really well, and that makes you more likable. Okay, so the first card we have out here is the 8 of Swords. We can bring it down a little bit more. Why not? We have the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords is like not seeing something. It's like trapping yourself in this kind of victim mentality. So that could be something that you do. You play victim. And it's kind of giving somewhat damsel in distress if you want to put a specific like situational air to it, like, oh, this person always needs my help, this person always needs me to save them, and therefore I must save them and I must always be there for them. And that's like something that makes someone feel powerful and in control. So how you entice the male gaze is you give off like damsel for whatever reason. You give off, I need help, I don't really know what to do, I'm a little stuck, like, oh my gosh, I just dropped my phone, like how am I supposed to get it? You know, however am I supposed to get my phone that just fell on the floor? And they immediately want to hop to and like do things for you. So like one of the ways men love to, I guess, dote on you or show you that they care is like acts of service. Whenever you're feeling stuck and you don't know what to do, they're there to help you with advice. You're literally stuck in your car and you can't move it, and they're there running to help you fix a tire. Oh my gosh, this door is so heavy. Oh, I can't. They're running to open the door for you and make your life a little easier. That's the kind of energy that comes through. So you entice men by being, I don't know if it's like, I don't want to say clumsy or klutzy, but you're giving the vibe of she needs help, okay? Or they need help, help them, you know? She don't want to be saved, don't save her. Don't know why that song is coming through. Maybe you don't want to be saved, but to men, you give off helpless, chickadee, I need help, okay? I fallen and I can't get up. Very funny, but that is coming through a little bit vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, this person's like a little bunny, and they're like they're away from their pack, and I have to nurse them back to health. Is the kind of vibe that I'm getting from y'all. Okay, so take it or leave it. If it's not resonating, then I don't know what to say. This is also reading about how other people view you, and it's not always going to resonate with you, just to be 100% honest. You know, because you may not, people perceive you in different ways than how you may perceive yourself. So you may not see yourself as a damsel in distress, but men do. And it's something that you do that make them feel that way, right? Or it's definitely giving a little bit maybe submissive kind of energy coming through, like they're gonna do what I say. And that's kind of what I was trying to allude to in the when I move, you move, just like that vibe. Like when they cross your arms, you do the same. It's kind of giving this person wants to please me, and that makes me happy. That pleases me, literally, right? That could be something coming through. So this person needs my guidance, because whatever I do, something they just immediately do it. I don't want to say they don't have a mind of their own. That's like OD, but that's kind of the vibe coming through for these people. They get like a predatory air about you, where it's like I have to help them. They obviously need my help. They don't know how to stand there without following my moves, but it's more so you just mimic people. You know what I mean? To make yourself more likable. That could be something. Maybe you give off the air of like maybe being a little socially anxious, so they feel they want to, you know, buck up and help you feel a little bit more comfortable. Whatever that may resonate as for you. I do believe it could resonate in a small way, but it's definitely giving, oh my gosh, the poor little lamb. I want to help them, right? It's giving, what's it called, that scene from Twilight? What a stupid lamb and what a sick masochistic lion. Basically, when Bella learns what Edward actually is, and she's like, no, I don't care. I still want to be with you. I'm not scared of you. And then I think Edward says, and just like that, the lion fell in love with the lamb. And then someone's like, what a stupid lamb. And then someone else is like, what a sick masochistic lion, essentially. That's kind of what's coming. You guys are giving a little lamb, you know? So there we go. The next card we have is Two of Wands. And Two of Wands is the decision card. So maybe you guys come off a little indecisive, and it makes men feel powerful to be able to step in and help you make a decision, you know? Because the Two of Wands is about deciding your next step, right? The Three of Wands is moving forward, progress, making some moves. Two of Wands is more so, I'm still deciding what I want to do, where I want to go. I'm not really sure yet. And, you know, when you're in that phase, you give someone else the opportunity to come in and say, hey, I'll help make the decision for you, right? So you're seeing as someone who's a little indecisive or likes to take a while or a minute to make decisions, which gives them the time to kind of, is it bamboozle you into making the decision they want to make, right? So for example, you're dating someone, or you're outside with a guy, and you're asking, I don't really know what I want to eat. Should we get pizza or burgers? You're taking so long to decide. They finally just said, we're getting pizza. And it's kind of like, oh, maybe you show some kind of relief, you know, or maybe it's just you took too long and they got impatient, and the man in them wanted to like take charge, and they did. That kind of thing is what's coming through, right? Because they saved from having to make a difficult decision. They saved you from having to, you know, waste any more time deciding what you wanted. Pizza, burgers, you know, we're going to go with pizza. That's the kind of energy coming through. Okay. But then you're also giving someone who's eager to learn. You guys are just giving like a little Bambi, right? Bambi who was like trying to get up and walk, and then he would fall, and then he would get up again. He's all limbs, and he's just, you know, a baby, and he just got into the world. That's the kind of energy I'm getting from you guys, and that's what entices men. They want to help. You're giving like a little lost lamb who doesn't really know where they're going, and they're giving the very predatorial, you know, carnivorous, you know what I mean, carnivorous, whatever the word is, lion. They just want to eat you up, you know. Two of Cups is like a natural camaraderie. It's a natural back and forth, a natural vibe between two people. The Two of Cups is the dating card, and honestly, you have to feel some kind of vibe and connection between someone to start dating them. So it's definitely giving that men are enticed by you because you kind of give dating material, or you give like, yeah, good dating material. They want to date you is the kind of energy coming through for sure. I'm also hearing that you entice them by giving them everything they could want, like romantically. So basically in situations, you kind of like giving your control over to them, and because it kind of takes a little bit of the weight off your shoulders, okay? Interesting, that's a song. Take the weight off my shoulders. Say I won't make the same mistake when I'm older. 'Cause with every step you take, I'm getting closer. So come a little closer. I don't want nobody else to call my name. No, I don't want nobody else when you can just say that you're the one who's taking me home. See, interesting. I'm Alone. Who sings that song? Alone by Jessie Ware is coming through. And I'm getting the vibe of they like being alone with you, if that makes sense. Just you and them by yourselves. Because Two of Cups is kind of the energy you're dating someone. It's just the two of you guys together in the connection. So like soulmate bonds are kind of coming through as well in this. Men may think that they have found like their soulmate in you. Okay, so yeah, you guys are definitely giving like submissive vibes. This person or men love taking charge and kind of like telling you what to do. Because I looked up the lyrics to the song Alone by Jessie Ware, and she's like, take the weight off my shoulders. Say I won't make the same mistakes when we're older. Like tell me, you know? Because with every step you take, I'm getting colder. So come a little closer, come a little closer. I don't want somebody else to call my name. No, I don't want somebody else when you could just say that you're the one who's taking me home. Just say it. Like, I don't want nobody else, right? I don't want anyone else when you can just say that you're the one who's taking me home. Tell me what to do. Because I want you on my skin and my bones. Knocking me off of my feet. Just say I'm the one that you need. Oh, please, say that you're the one who's taking me home so I can get you alone. This is actually really sexy. Like, yeah, they're like, okay, I can take full control. This person's like pliable in my arms. They're pliable in my hands. They're kind of like putty for me to shape and as I please. Okay. And you're here for it. You're like, I don't want to make no decisions right now. I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to do none of that. When I'm with you, what are we eating? Where are we going? Look, tell me all that. Tell me all that, and that's it. Like, you let them take control, and that's something that they find very sexy. Okay, period. Okay, so the next card we have here is Nine of Pentacles, which is a very self-sufficient energy. So maybe what they find enticing about you is you are someone who could be or are very independent, very self-sufficient, very, well-grounded, well-meaning, well-off in some kind of way, very intelligent, smart, you have a good job, but it's kind of like you still give them the control. So at any point, you could take away the control from them, but you just actively still give it to them, if that makes sense. You're still independent, you still pay your own bills, you still buy your own stuff, but when you're around this person in particular, it's kind of like, okay, take the wheel. I'm done being in control. So yeah, it's giving the person who's always stuck making decisions that when it comes time to make decisions, like maybe outside of their job or something, they're like, I don't really want to do that right now. I'd rather have someone else do everything, take care of everything, and that's it. So that's definitely coming through in like multiple cards, okay? But like self-sufficiency is definitely a big thing here. Are there any other messages? There is something here, but you can see this the sun like standing on each of these cards here. So there could be something here, but you have like a lot of energy. Maybe you're like a little kid, and that's why you give the energy of tell me what to do, because I just want to be a kid right now. I don't really want to be responsible. And this person kind of craves that. So you kind of give them what they need, and in return, they give you what you need, if that makes any sense to you. So for example, power exchange, energy exchange, that kind of thing, a power dynamic in some kind of way. Some of you are quite shy and reserved, and you cover up most of your body is what's coming through. Maybe even like, you wear like a hijab or something, because Eight of Swords is all her body's covered. All that we're seeing skin-wise is the bottom half of her face and her two hands. Then in the Two of Wands, she's fully clothed once again. All we're seeing is like just her arms, right? And then here, the Two of Cups, fully clothed. All we're seeing is a little bit of neck, right? So I'm getting on what's her name? I just saw Tamara Mori in my mind, where she's definitely someone who looks very beautiful and sexy, and we know she's very like, strong, fierce, and independent on her own. But like when she's in that marriage with her man, it's kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's definitely giving they be into some stuff, child. Okay? He's the man of the house. He's in charge, right? So just being around you boosts their masculine energy, and they love that. But that's kind of what I'm getting. Well, a lot of people don't like how she not defers to her husband, but I don't know how to explain it. People love to find things to hate about Tamara just in general, but the fact that she married Adam, who's like a white guy, and like had kids with him, and people think she's like throwing away her black side and yada 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 yada. Essentially, she wants to be in a home where she's a feminine, okay? She's with a masculine, right? And that's just about it. Each of us knows our goals and duties to do in the house. But she knows how to be very feminine, delicate, and sexy as well, Like, we know when the time comes, we know she doesn't have to be, like, submissive at all. But that's what she chooses to do in her marriage and chooses to be. And it's a beautiful energy to see, honestly. There can be a nice quiet around being with you, where it's not always, we don't always have to talk. That kind of thing can be coming through as well. Nine of Pentacles does represent comfort, so it's very comfortable being around you. Oddly or funnily enough, your shoe wear is coming through. Something that entices them. It could be the way that you dress, or it could just be your shoes, period. Anything else? But you're definitely giving the sun very like loud laugh. That's something that's coming through. Like I said, with Tamara Mowry, very loud laugh, very feminine, very curls, very free, very flowy, very taking care of her kids kind of energy. Very private. Shy, keep to yourself. Or if not shy, just reserved. Definitely giving soft, like a flower. You could also like wearing like shapes and flowers and stars on your clothing. Patterns was coming through in another group, but it wasn't coming through. It was like mostly flowers and flowery kind of thing. So loose fitting things, kind of giving like mom. How you see mom like those long flowy shirts and just a pair of jeans, like some Birkenstocks or something, which is kind of giving what this card is giving with the shoe wise anyway. And then we have when she's working in the gardens, she has her, or when she's walking, not even, doesn't have to be working, she's wearing her rain boots. And very stylish, I might add. And these two gorgeous women here. One has flowers, so does she in this card, and the other has like button flowers. Not button flowers, but you know, flowers on her shirt, right? With a little style of like accentuating the neck and the presence of no like shoulders. You could also be very chatty and like to talk a lot. Because in this Two of Cups, it kind of looks like they're sharing tea, doesn't it? It's like, you won't believe what I just heard. No, you won't believe what I just heard. And that's something they love doing with you, having conversations. Whether it's in depth or just like surface level or just like really just gossip. Some of you could have freckles that's coming through a lot. Okay. Side eye is coming through. So you gotta have a really good side eye. Or you like to throw shade. But you're very talkative, very chatty. Especially with this bird coming through here. You could also be like a little bit of a songbird. You're always singing, bursting into song. I do know like Tamara loves to sing as well. But like floral is definitely coming through a lot. I don't know how to describe like those, I don't want to say old lady clothing, but the clothes that are just like, what's the material I can use? I can't think of the word, but anyway, y'all know what I mean. What the moms, where they just throw on like a flowery shirt and has all patterns on it. Sometimes it has like the arm cut out to like the upper arms kind of thing. But it's like very, you know, casual vibes, you know? Anyway, let's move on. What's at the bottom of the deck I want to see? We have Five of Cups. A lot of two pieces are coming through as well for you guys. You could like get tired a lot or easily, and that's something that you bring up. Let's get these oracle cards. Freckles could be important as well. Freckles, red lipstick, or a red tint to your lips, natural or not. Blush, bantu knots in your hair. There's something here about always wearing your hair up most of the time or tied back, never too much in your face. Because here it's pulled away from her face and with the hat. Here it's pulled up and away from their faces. Here, of course, is in bantu knot, so it's pulled up and away from her face. And then here we have like her hair like tied back or tied away from her face with the ribbon or the scarf that she's wearing. With the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck, there could be something here about maybe you giving off an air of being sad or lonely. Let's see what else is coming through. For my group threes, please spread. What do they do to entice men? I'm hearing hook, line, and sinker. And I think that's a saying. I think that's a saying for like when you have something in the bag, like you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. So there could be something like very easy, I don't know, a little maybe trickster-y about you, or just like you know what men want to see or hear or how they want to be treated in order for them to feel like powerful and significant, and you kind of play onto those things really well. Like, oh, they want someone to be shy and a little meek and not really know what to do so they can lead, and then you kind of play into that, whether you are that way or not, you know? This is also giving me like a secret between two friends. Like, how much can I get out of him this time? You know. Let's see what comes through here. We have the Divine Feminine, beautiful card. The Divine Feminine coming through. We also have Sacred Treasure. So they do want to treasure you, honestly. With the Divine Feminine, they want to treasure you because, like I said, you sit so pretty in that Divine Feminine energy of letting them do everything, letting them handle it, letting them make the decisions, you know what I mean? And it makes them feel like more powerful, okay? Here we have good company. Interesting. So you're good company. That could be something coming through, or it is coming through. And it's funny because in this deck we have bad company, and I've been getting it so many times lately. It's good to have good company now, okay? That could be something that's coming through is for them as well. Like, they're so used to bad company. When they finally get good company, they're excited, and you're representing the good company. Here we have lay the foundation, so hardworking, and that could also be tying into Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is deciding where you want to go next and being careful and planning that next step of yours. So lay the foundation. You're not just going to jump into something, you're going to plan it beforehand. Here we have say it out loud. Interesting. There could be a lot of things you're not afraid to say out loud. And then we have tipping point. Just want to show you the cards because they're so cute. And if you look at her here and this say it out loud, there can be something here about you not being afraid to say what you mean and what you want out loud as well. Because she's like giving like a little flirty stare, like, like whatever you say, daddy, that kind of energy. It's coming through. That's funny. Okay. And then we have a tipping point. I'm not sure what this card means, but a tipping point is when things change. A tipping point is when things change for better or for worse. So you can be very changeable, very adaptable. You're also kind of given like very demure. I don't know how to explain. Conservative is kind of the word that I'm thinking of. Like, I just keep seeing Tamara Mowry. What's her married name? I'll be forgetting, y'all. Not important anyway. But she's definitely very much giving like suburban, conservative. I keep to myself, mind my business. I'm very wholesome kind of energy, but also flirty when I need to be. Is kind of giving lady in the streets, but a freak in the streets kind of energy. I want to know what goes beyond that because she seems very like wholesome and nice. But then there's certain times we see her like freakum dress side come out. You know what I mean? And we're kind of like, ooh, what's that about? But it only comes out for a second before she like reels it in. So she seems to be a very doting mother and wife and, you know, very innocent. And I'm just here to be like the ultimate wife and, you know, mother kind of energy. But it's like she also has her moments of just like, you know, being a little petty. She has her moments of being a little sassy. And it's kind of like, oh, there are only little glimpses that you get to see of that. But then when you do see that, you kind of want to see more. You know what I mean? So you're not only this like clumsy, very innocent person that you come off to be, but for the most part, you are giving conservative until you show otherwise, right? And that could be what tipping point means. When things kind of like tip over to the next direction is when you show them that side that there's naughtiness there. There's, you know, a very independent, sassy person underneath it all. Now they're getting the best of both worlds with this Two of Cups, with these two people on different sides. You're getting a little bit of the best of both worlds. Sacred Treasure is also giving me high value, right? But it's definitely giving like very flirty, very shy kind of energy, but it's also like both though. Okay, not too much on that. Let's move on to the next card. These were from this deck. Were these from a different deck? No, they're all from the same deck. It's like shy, but not shy. Y'all out here playing people for jokes, huh? But either way, you're good company, you're funny, good conversationalist. There's just more to you than what meets the eye, essentially. What card is this? Sorry, I keep looking at it. Okay. I gotta remember which deck is which. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I'm gonna leave that in there too, because you're gonna see how you just knocked that. You see how you just knocked someone over and they weren't really expecting it. Okay. How does my group 3's entice men? Or what about them entices men? Not too many cards now, Spirit, because we don't want to be here forever. Okay. My group 3's, please, Spirit. How do they entice men? These are 2. I'll take them. Okay. And 2 more. We'll see how that goes. Here we have Mother Nature. Yeah, so very nurturing, very beautiful, but also volatile and unpredictable. You see how that, melds together so beautifully, what I've been trying to say the whole time. Like, you see someone, they give, like, very wholesome, very cute, very sweet, very innocent. But then you get little glimpses of disaster or a train wreck, so they're coming off as, oh, yeah, I'm submissive, and, oh, Mother Nature's so pretty and beautiful and all, sparkling sunshine and waterfalls. But then she also gives hurricanes and storms and monsoons, and it's not just what you see. There's more underneath the surface, or there's an unpredictability about it, and that excites them. They want to see if it's all just this or all for show, or if there's more, right? Interesting. And then here we have Wheel of Fortune, which is kind of giving me, you never know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, essentially. And this is what, intrigues them, entices the men, okay? These 2 did kind of want to come out as well. And then look, we have Riddle Me This. This perfectly explains what I've been trying to say. Like, you're like a little bit of a riddle that they kind of want to solve, They want to, what is it called? Spin the wheel and see where it lands. Try to solve the puzzle that you are. The puzzle of you. Then we have the siren song. Look at that. They know there's more than what you show. And they want to know more. That's gorgeous. Okay, relax, deck. Okay, I think that's all that I have, but I think that's all that I needed to go over. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. Temptation from different decks. We're getting this like long-haired siren, come hither kind of vibes. There could be duality to you because like I said, the 9 of Pentacles is being able to be independent, get things done, be successful in your job. But then we have the other side of the coin, which is to be very feminine, very receptive. It's kind of like you balance that very, very, very well, and that intrigues and entices the men. Like, oh, she could be a boss when she's ready, but she could also take orders, right? Period. Also, group 3, before I forget or before I fully put away everything, I was singing The Most Beautiful Thing by Bruno Major, like while putting away your stuff, and I'm technically still in group 3's energy, so I decided to like come back in and tell you that this song is coming through. But basically it's like, the most beautiful thing that I have never seen. But basically the song's about him like wishing or yearning or walking through life as if he already has his person next to him, but he really doesn't. So it's kind of like in like whimsical coffee shop days, cuddled up by the, on the couch, staring out the window dreamily. That's the kind of energy coming through. But I'm trying to look up the song right now to see what's coming through. So I definitely recommend highly that you listen to the song on your own, but we'll read out the lyrics and see what comes through. So it starts off by saying, will it be a pavement or a sidewalk when I finally lay my eyes on you? So it's like giving daydream, like I said, long nights, daydreaming days, okay? Someone I've already loved, will you find your way out of the blue? Will it be my flat or your apartment when I finally realize I do? Will we meet on Baker Street or find ourselves on Melrose Avenue, okay? It's giving me a comfy small town romance, right? Everyone knows each other. I feel comfortable here. Like, that's the kind of way you entice men. It's definitely giving like, I'm hearing ease like a Sunday morning is coming through as well. But the chorus is, I don't know who you are, but I'll save you a seat. Hang my coat on a chair next to me. I tried to reassure the waiter, say you're down the street. He laughed at me. So here's to you, the most beautiful thing that I have never seen. Okay, so that's kind of what's coming through here. I don't know why that vibe, I feel like, was fitting quite well into what was coming through. And the genre for this song is like alternative, indie, and rock. You know what I mean? If anyone knows Bruno Major, he's very much like very soft, very soothing, like something you would hear in a coffee shop while you're reading your, like I said, small town romance book, okay? So like even very small, very whimsical, very like airy and light is the kind of energy you bring, I guess, to the men that you're around. Natural, earthy, I guess you could say as well. That's been coming through in another reading, but not as like not like it is in this reading, okay? But it's kind of like down to earth. It's the best way to say it. Down to earth, you know, small town, simple, you know, coffee shop days, and, you know, long talks at night, and rain coming down and pelting the window while you drink hot cocoa and 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒𝐬. That's the word, you know, coming through. Anyway, let me stop talking too much, but that I felt the need to come back and talk about that. I definitely highly recommend the song The Most Beautiful Thing, right? By Bruno Major. So beautiful. Most of the songs are that vibe. So if you like songs like that, listen to more of his songs. But anyway, yeah. I'm done. I don't want to over-explain. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. You're giving predator and prey. We love that for you. Bye.